Hello all, welcome to our channel Global Tech Learn. In this video, we'll cover new card visual introduced in Power BI in June 2023 update. To make this visual available in Power BI Desktop Visualization Gallery, make sure to update Power BI Desktop with the latest June 2023 version. Before this release in Power BI, there are two types of card visuals available in the card visual category. First is a card which is useful for displaying single values, and second is a multi-row card visual which is appropriate for presenting multiple related values in a tabular format. New card visual which is introduced is similar to the multi-row card where we can display multiple cards in a single container with more advanced formatting features. Go to Power BI Desktop, and to access this visual, go to the visual gallery which is available on the Home tab, and from here we can select the new card visuals. So when you expand this visual gallery option and scroll down under Gauge, Card and KPI category, you can see a new card visual is available. Click on this visual, and from the build visual, from here we can add the data fields which are required for this visual. So click on Add Data option, and the data pane which is available, from here we can select the fields which are required. So from fact sale table, let's select sales amount. As we can represent multiple data fields under this single visual, you can see even after adding a data field for this visual, Add Data option is still available. So click on this Add Data, and we can add multiple fields which are required for this visual. So let's select sales price. Again click on Add Data, and from fact sale, let's select sold quantity. Again click on Add Data, and from customer table, I am selecting customer key. Now when you click on this data options for each and individual field, you can see here the aggregation option is available. When you open this drop down, multiple aggregations are available which we can apply on the fields. So for this particular field, we want to show the count of customers, so I am selecting count from here. Similarly, if you want to change the aggregation for any other field, open the data option and select the required aggregation from this drop down. Now let's expand this visual, and here you can see we have sales amount, sum of sales price, sum of sold quantity, and count of customer in the single visual. Now to change these labels which are coming here, in this build visual options, double click on the data field, and from here we can rename the labels. So let's rename sum of sales price as sales price, sum of sold quantity as quantity sold, and count of customer key, let's rename it as number of customers. Now you can see the labels for each field has been changed. Now let's do some formatting on this visual. So in the format pane under visual, when you expand the option for size and style, from here we can change the height and width of this visual and also its horizontal and vertical position. Let's change the horizontal position to 25 and vertical position to 30. So now you can see its horizontal and vertical position has changed. Similarly, if you want to change the height and width, just provide the number over here. When you scroll down further, there is an option for providing the padding to this visual. So from here we can provide the top, bottom, left and right padding for this visual. Again scroll down. If you want to provide the background for this visual, so we can select the background color. So let's select the background color for this visual, and from here we can provide the transparency for this color selected. Then the visual border. If you want to provide the border to this visual, click this option on, and from here we can select the color for this border and also whether we want the rounded corners for this visual. So if I'm selecting the rounded corners and providing the pixel value here, so you can see the visual corners have changed into the rounded shape. If you want to provide the shadowing for this border, so we can turn this option on. Now next is the title option. Let's turn on the title option and give the title for this visual which we have selected. So this is about the sales data. So let's give the title as sales. And from here we can change the font size, style and also the color of the font. So let's select Arial Black as a font type. Increase the font and change the text color. And also we can change the alignment for this title. Now for this title, if you want to provide a background color, so we can select it from here. I am selecting this as a background color. Also we can add subtitle for this visual. So let's give the subtitle as sales related data. And then from here we can change the font type and size for this subtitle. Then next is a divider. If you want to provide a divider line between the title and the field values, we can turn on this divider option. Select the color for this divider and also we can increase its width. Then the style option is coming, whether we want to show this divider as solid, dashed line or a dotted line. So let's select it as a solid line. Then next option is shape. Here you can see all the fields are coming in the rectangular shape. If you want to change the shape of these fields which are coming in this card, so we can open this drop down and from this drop down we can select the required shape. Let's change this rectangular shape into the rounded rectangular shape. And now you can see the rectangular boxes are changing into the rounded rectangular shape. If you want to change the corners of all the rounds, so from here we can increase the percentage of round corners. Again scroll down further. Then we have the option for call out. When you expand this option, we can change the formatting for the values which are coming here. So from here we can select whether we want to apply the formatting on all the fields which are coming in this card, or we can also select the individual field and do the formatting. So from the series, let's select all and apply similar formatting to all the fields. So from here we can change the font type and size of the field values which are coming. So let's select it as Arial and font size as 20. Color you can select from here. And also we can change the alignment, whether we want to central align, left align or right align. Let's make it center align. Also we can select the display units which we want to display here and also the position of the decimal point. Now here you can see one more option is available, show blank value as a dash. So suppose in my data field, here I have added one test column where you can see its values coming as blank. So when I add this test column in my visual, so here you can see test data contains blank value. So instead of showing blank, it is coming as dash. So let's remove this column from here now. And again go to the format option. When you scroll down further, then we have the label options. So we can do the formatting for the labels which are coming on this individual field. Expand this option, and from here we can do the formatting for the labels. So let's change the formatting. Transparency you can set from here if required. Then position of this label. So let's change the position to below values. So now we have value above and the labels below the values. Then from this spacing option, we can increase or decrease the spacing which is coming between the values and the labels. So suppose we have to increase the spacing, so we can increase it from here. So suppose I am increasing it to 25. So you can see the spacing between the values and the labels is increased. Let's decrease it to 5. Again scroll down further. Now here you can see one more formatting option is available for this visual, that is the layout. So from here we can select the style of layout in which we want to represent our data fields. So one thing you might have noticed, let me add one more page, and in this let me select multi-row card and add the same data values which we have added in our new card visual. So I am selecting sales amount, then sales price, quantity sold, and count of customer. So here you can see when I'm selecting the multi-row card and going to the formatting, layout formatting option is not available. We cannot select the layout for this visual. But in the new visual, layout option is available and we can change the layout orientation. Whether we want to show all the fields horizontal wise or all the fields vertical position. So now you can see all the data values which we have added in this visual are coming vertically, and also we can change into the grid type. So when I am selecting the grid, so in the rows and columns, we can select the number of fields which we want to display in the rows and number of fields which we want to display in the column. So let's display 2 fields in the rows and 2 fields in columns. So now you can see our grid option is coming here. But this option is not available in our multi-row card. This is one example of formatting feature which is available in the new card visual and not in the multi-row card visual. So again I am selecting this card option, and from here we can select the alignment. So let's keep it as a middle align. Then there is a card option. When you click on this, again it will ask us whether you want to apply the setting on all the fields or you want to select a particular field and apply the setting. Let's select all field again, and from here we can select the padding. So when it is custom padding, so we can change the padding of all the cards. So if you want to change the color of this card, we can change it from here. Select the transparency. Let's keep it as white. And also if you want to add the image on this card, so we can browse the image. So click on add file option and you can select the image which you want to apply on this card. Now from this drop down we can fit the image for our card. Either you can select fill option which will fill the image in your card, or we can select the fit option. So let's select fit option. And also from here we can increase the transparency for this visual which we have added. So let's increase the transparency. Then go to the border. If you want to provide the border for this card, we can add the border from here. Let's change the border color. And also if you want to increase the width of this border, we can do it from here. And we can also increase the transparency. Now let's click on this image option, scroll it down. First turn this on. And here you can see either we can add image or image URL in this card. So I don't have any URL available with me, so I am selecting image, and from this add file option let's browse the image. So this time I am selecting the second image and click on open. So from this image fit, let's select fit option, and also you can increase the transparency for this image which we have added. And also we can change the positioning of this image which we have just added. So let's keep it as right side. And also then we can increase or decrease the padding and the size for this image which we have created here. So suppose I am increasing its size to 100 pixel, and padding, let's increase this to 10. So you can see a little padding is added between the values and this image. So this is all about the new visual which is introduced in Power BI.